the data dash challenge. As you already know that in our third day, yesterday, which was yesterday, we did some basic segmentation. Customer, we have the potential customer, we have the at risk, and we have the hibernating customer. Views from SQL to Power BI using the ODBC connector. So today we are going to start from our dashboarding itself. And yesterday also we also talked about wireframing. One of the importance of wireframing is that it's make our work more easier. In our dashboarding work, it makes it more easier. So following the pattern that we suggested yesterday, which is this, or which was this, so we can simply have a full-fledged of that or full sketch of that. So let's start with this building KPIs. In this brief, we are basically looking up to building 4 KPIs: the total customer, the total revenue, the average order value, and also the average recency. So starting with the first one, the total customers that we have, that is total visitors on our e-commerce website. So for us to do that, total customer is equivalent to total visitor. These are our data sets that we connected. We can also check in the table view and the model view. Looking at the model view, we can see that these two data sets are connected. Can we see this, please?
Yes.
Actually, I'm using for seeing it clearly. Oh, yes, I can see it, sir.
So here is the model of our model view of our data sets. And as we can see, there's a connection between this staging transaction table and RFM segment view. If you click on it, you can see that there's a relationship of one-to-many relationship between the two tables. That is a unique, as in every visitor here has a unique entry. However, a visitor here might be mapped to as many as possible feeds over here in the staging transaction. And when we check on the table view, you can also see the data set over there. But before going with the KPIs, let's firstly do some as in basic adjustments to our data set over here. Take for instance, looking at these data types here, like the visitor ID, as you can see, is in text format, which is correct. The recency days or number, as in the data format, I mean. Likewise, the frequency, the monetary. Monetary here, we all know that it's in dollars, right? So we can simply change the format to currency. Then we can leave it. Okay. We can also leave it to, let's say, 2 decimal places, which it's already there. Or let's just simply put it there, 2 decimal places. 2. So, all right. Then the R score also, it's also in O number. All the remaining ones are in good format. So let's move to the other data set, which is the staging transactions. Here we need to change this total revenue USD also to currency. You click currency, then let's put it, let's say 2 decimal places also. That is 2 numbers after decimal. So, all right. So with the first KPI that we are looking inward to is the total customer. We can simply leverage the KPI as in button over here, as in KPI visuals, I mean. So if you click on it, you have something like this. So the total visitor or the total customer, they are still the same thing as in customer and visitor here. They are still the same thing. So you can simply just drag the visitor ID and put it in the value column over here. And that will show the counts of the, oh, sorry. I supposed to use card. I'm using card over here, not this. Yeah. So counts of visitors. However, we need we are not counting the total. Instead of us using counts alone, we're supposed to count the distinct visitor. visitor on our e-commerce platform. So for that, we'll just simply click on this and click count the instinct. And as you can see, these are the distinct customer in our data set, 5,568. Can we all see this, please?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. So for the next KPI that we're looking inward to is the total revenue, right? So let's select another card here. So we said we're calculating 4 KPIs basically. The first one is the total customer, that is total visitor that is visiting our website, and the next one was the total revenue generated, which I just created. So we can just simply leverage the card again, click on card, and transaction total revenue, drag it to this feed over here and drop it there. As you can see, the total revenue is about $1.03 million. Then the next KPI here is the average order value. That is, the formula for average order value is total revenue divided by the total order. So for us to achieve this, we can simply leverage the measure using measures in our Power BI. So let's do that. We are creating a measure for this under the staging table. Just click new measure. And the measure we're creating now is the average order value, right? So that would be AOV equals, it's the division of total revenue by the total transaction made, right? Let me confirm that. Total revenue. Yeah, the total revenue divided by the total order, that is the total transaction as in made. So we can simply do that by simply using the divide function. Let's say divide. Enter. So we are dividing the total revenue. For us to have total revenue, that is the sum of the revenues. That will be sum of the total revenue. Is it here? Staging table. We are using that under staging table. So staging table, total revenue. This over here, divided by the numbers of transaction made, that is the count, right? So we'll be using the count function. Count. Then the table also is the staging table of the transaction ID. So we can simply close the brackets here. That is the total transaction ID, staging transactions, unexpected parameter, tracing, okay, this count staging transactions, I think is correct. Okay, we're supposed to close this parenthesis over here also. So afterward, let's enter, and that gives us our average order value. So we can also put that in another card over here. It's another KPI. So as we can see over here, we have about 162.23 AOV. But you know, our average order value must be in dollars, right? Because we divided the total revenue generated in USD divided by the total numbers of transactions made. So the unit of this is supposed to be in USD also. So for us to achieve that, we can simply edit that in our table. Just click on the table view. As you can see here, AOV, that is the average order value. Its format, it's general, but we can simply change that to currency. Click on currency, and that will change the value. So we can simply go back to our visual. So we can all see this, right?
Yes, I can see.
All right, thank you. So as we can see that the numbers after decimal are very large or very huge. So we can simply just round this up to, let's say, 2 decimal places or thereabouts. Let's just put it to 2. 1, 2. All right. So let's recheck. Yeah, that has been adjusted. So we are done with the first 3 KPIs we are looking inward to. Then the last KPI here in our brief is the, let me simply check that, is the average recency. That is the mean days since last purchase. That is average of what? Of recency days. So we can simply check. Let us click another card. Let us select another card for that. For the average recency, recency is under this particular view that we created in our MySQL. That is the recency days. We can simply drag it down to this feed over here. It counted it, but we are not needing the counting. We need the average. So you can simply just click on this drop-down menu and click on the average. That is the average day. So the recency for this is about 127.43 as in days. That's the average day. So let us just put all this. Let's arrange them on one side. Although we are yet to start the main formatting and designing of the dashboard, but this is just like a way following what we've sketched in our wireframe, that we have our KPIs over here at the right top. Let's just put it like this, or somewhat like that. So we said our logo will be somewhere around here, and our filters will be in this left pane. Then this main pane will have our other visuals in there. So afterward, let's move on to the next page of the task. We are done with the building of KPIs cards. Then the next task here is to segment the distribution bar charts. Segment distribution using bar charts. Once we've divided our customers based on segment, loyal customer, potential loyal champions, and the rest. So we want to visualize that. So we are done with the basic KPIs. We want to start with the visuals by using a bar chart, a column bar chart for that. Or we can simply just use a stack bar chart on clustered. Yeah, let's go with this clustered bar chart. I think that one will be more. It will make it as looking good. So we want to visualize the segments of our customers. How many customers among our, as in our database or in our data sets, are champions based on our segmented column in MySQL that we imported? How many customers among them are loyal, among them are as in potential loyal customers and the likes? So we can simply use the segment here. That is, the segment should be in y-axis. Then the numbers of the accounts, that is the count of each customer, you can simply put that in the x-axis, that is the count of visitor ID. And as you can see here are the distribution. We have the hibernating, at risk, potential, loyal customers, and everything like that. If you overthrow it, you can see the numbers of each customers that are in each segment, like this potential loyal list, about 1,262 customers. Then at risk, the business had about 1,827. We can also see it through the visuals here. And we'll discover that there is an issue here. Let me just, so we try to adjust all this after we want to just bring out our sketch, our wireframe out first before doing the necessary adjustments. So just leave it like that for now. So let me click out of this. So let's simply put this here like this. So afterward, another chart here that will also be including in our dashboard is the RFM clustered column chart, where we are tasked to compare the distribution of recency, frequency, and monetary score side by side. Then from there, we'll place it in x-axis and y-axis. The reason why we are doing this is for us to visualize the score for each customer. Take, for instance, if we click on a particular visitor ID, or before going there, let's demonstrate this particular as in chart first, so that I'll be able to explain this second column charts in a better way. So let's come to this detailed rows table. In this detailed rows table, in there we have the visitor ID, the segments, the recency, the frequency. Is just like a table, a row and column as in that will indicate the visitor ID, the segments, recency, so that whenever a stakeholder, whenever they are looking through the dashboard, they can simply spot those customers that has a particular value, that have a particular value. This is what I'm saying here. Come to your visual pane and click on table here. This is table. So we needed the segment. Was it? Yeah, visitor ID, segment, and recency. Slow. Oops. What does that mean? Okay. We needed the visitor ID over here. So just simply click and drag it to this column parts. We also need the segments, drag it and put it to this column parts. Likewise, we needed the recency day, as in, yeah, let me check. The recency day. Yeah, the recency days, frequency and monetary. The recency days, you can simply drag it and put it downward here. Frequency, and finally the monetary parts. Yeah. So here's our table that displays, that display all those values. But as we can see, when you scroll down, you find out that this is almost all the tables, all the entry in our data sets. We want us to, it's not ideal to display all the table over here. We can simply just filter it based on, let's say, on monetary wise. That's okay. Let's say the top 10 customers in terms of monetary wise that have the highest, that are paying more on our website whenever they visited, they visit our website. So for that, we can simply use the filter panel over here. Can we all see this, please?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. So we can simply click on this. The filter type that we want to employ on this table, we want to view only, let's say, the top 10 or the top 5, depending on your wish. So click on the filter type. We're only more concerned about the top numbers, that is, let's say, top 10 or thereabouts of our customers. Then by what values are we segmenting it with or filtering it with? We are filtering it with respect to the monetary aspects. Instead of counts, we are not counting here since it's money. Let's simply put the sum, that is the total sum of the money, then apply the filter. So as you can see, if you take note of the table before, you'll find out that there's a scroll bar beside it over here, but now it's only displaying the first 10 based on the monetary aspects. And as you can see, it's sorting them. We can simply sort this. When you click on it, you can sort it whether ascending or in descending order, as the case may be. So let's go back now to let me just simply put this somewhere around. I can put it here anyhow. So let's just leave it like that. So the next visual, where is it? The next visual here is the geo map by country. Since we have the column, we have the country column, we can simply visualize the area or the countries that are buying more of our products, that are visiting our products in terms of recency, frequency, and monetary wise also. So we can leverage on the map visual for that. So let's come here. Sorry. Now, here's the map. here's the map. The map. You can see map and feed maps are disabled, so you have to enable them. So simply just click on File, come to Options and Settings, Options, then Security, just download, then down to this side, use map and feed visuals, then you open. So let's wait for that. Seems like it's very slow. Seems like I have to restart this before it's being affected. Let me just simply close my Power BI and restart again. Can we all see this, please?
Yes, sir, we can see. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we can see.
All right. So here, regarding the map, these bubbles that we are seeing over here, they are based on the monetary, as in monitoring wise. The higher the bubble, let's just scroll over this, the more the bubble you can see. This is count. It doesn't supposed to be count. This is supposed to be sum. Sum, yeah. Instead of it, just change it to sum, not count. So if you over this, as in this part of the map, the country is Russia, and the sum of the monetary aspect that as in the total customers, our total customer in Russia, they've paid about 1 million plus dollars on our goods. Then likewise, if you check the other, as in, okay, this is just as in the total 1.03, which is corresponding to the total revenue over here, meaning that all these circles are the same. We won't want that to be, although we can later adjust that, but let's just as I have all those visuals for now and the slicers before as I'm moving forward, because we want to have the bubble size based on the countries. That's what we're aiming for. So let's see, the last visual over here is the RFM scores as in visual. So we can simply leverage on the transform data tab over here. Simply click on that, and it will show you this as in the Power BI, the Power Query in the Power BI. Here are the two tables we are having. So we'll be using this RFM segments here. That is the RFM segments table. Scroll down to this column, R score, F score, and M score. Highlight the three. You can hold on your control key, then highlight the three columns together. Right click them and right click on any of them, and you can on pivots as on pivots the columns, so that it will, instead of it being as in vertically like this, it will be in horizontal format. So let's click on pivot columns, and here is it. So we can change this as in column feed from attribute. Let's say that this is the, let's say scale column, or with any name that you just as in you wish. Then this value over here, we can also change that to, let's say, scale value. Scale value. So as we can see, instead of it being in horizontal format, it has changed the dimension from being horizontal to vertical. There we have the R score equals this, F score like that. So we can simply just close and apply over here. Apply changes. Okay. Column is sortable. Seems like there are some duplicates over there. All right. To save time, we need to clean this thing again. No. Let's simply recheck this, please. It's complaining about a duplicated value in our visitor ID. we can still have another vision. Let's think of a visual that can serve that. We can also show it as since we can also have a trend line, like a line chart. I'm very sure most of us here we are convenient or we have knowledge about line charts. Yes or yes, please.
Yes, we are
Actually,
conversant with line charts.
Yeah. So let's just substitute that instead of as in the error that it's displaying in order not to take more time. It's complaining of a duplicate to Excel to clean it and coming back to this in order not to waste too much of our time. You can just substitute this part of the visual, that is the fourth one, with a line chart. Since we have a transaction as in date over here, it will be very useful. We can visualize the revenue trend over time. That is in months in the first month, second month, how much are we making and stuff like that. So let's simply double click here on this line chart. Then the transaction date, we can simply put the transaction date over here. And in terms of monetary, we can put in the monetary here in this in y-axis. We can put this one, let's say monthly wise. Let me click on monthly. Then monetary should be here on y-axis. This cancel this. It's supposed to be total revenue actually, not monetary, because when you click on monetary, that means that we are classifying them. We are using the segmented. We're supposed to use the sum of total revenue actually, yeah, not the monetary part of it. So let's just zoom out this part as on this chart. So we can also include this over here, and that completes our chart. As you can see, there is from January they generated this amount. There is a very high spike in April due to some, let's say, for August, which we have the highest dip. Okay, according to the wireframe that we sketched, we said in this particular left side of the visual, we'll be having our filters there. So, and when you check the brief, you see that some of the filters that have been mentioned include the date range slicer, the country slicer, the segment slicer. So moving with one of them, let's say the segment slicer, we can just click on slicer over here, our slicer, then we are slicing it based on segments. Drag just drag that one and put it over here, let's say this side. Then also we are also slicing it based on aside segments. What again? We are slicing this based on country, yeah, based on the country. You can just simply click like that. So here are the countries that are in our data set. Then we can also, let's just drag this over here. Let's put it one side. Even though we'll still later as in readjust this, probably it might not be tonight because the time is our time is fast spent already. But we'll do that. The country then also based on the date, also the last slicer, that is the transaction date. So here are the three slicers that we'll be using in our visuals. So we can just put that over here. Can we all see this, please?
see, sir.
So based on our wireframe, here is what we'll have. Then maybe this particular side of the bar, we can simply put the company logo over there. Let me zoom it out. Yeah, let's put this like this, like this. Can put this also over here, somehow like this over here. So we can simply put the, let's say, the company logo or any logo like that will signify that. Then also we will need a title as in for our dashboard itself. Even though all these values are just as in there, as in all these big values, will still reduce them so that it will contain an heading for our dashboard or a title for our dashboard. And each and every one of these filters as in this chart over here, they still need as a necessary adjustments. This is just like a wireframe of what you want to do, and it's responsive. If you click on one, you can see that it's changing, meaning that the dashboard is responsive. We can also, let me just click out, maybe based on the country, we can click on one slicer of them, as in out of them, you can see here is the, as in it's responsive based on location, as in on country, based on segment also is also responsive. So you can see what they are as in over there. We'll be stopping here tonight for this. By tomorrow, we'll complete as in the main dashboard itself.
Yeah. Since I have a question.
All right. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so how we are supposed to submit this? The first one, you said a Power BI report file or published link. I don't know how we'll go about that.
Actually, what that stands for is that your Power BI as in file itself, your PBIX file, PBIX file, you have to submit it. One, polished in the sense that, you know, we only just sketch out the wireframe tonight, but you can also send your wireframe as your, as in for that, even though not polished. By tomorrow, we'll try to include some visuals and some plugins and everything like that to make it more, as in more interactive and more engaging visually, like that, as in the aesthetic part of the visual. By tomorrow, we'll include that, and also we'll also as in save it on Git, as in on GitHub, and we'll also as in discuss how to present a project regarding that. But basically, for now, you can just simply upload your wireframe as we did today, as we demonstrated today. Then also in place of this RFM of a thing, you know, there's also a visual of RFM clustered column there. Try to clean your data sets, as in the visitor ID. Seems like there's an error over there. If you're unable to, as in, get through with that, substitute it as in the visual with what we used today with the revenue over trend, that is the revenue made per month. Is that clear, please?
Yes.
Right, all right. Is there any other question, please?
Sir, hello, sir.
All right, hello.
Yes, sir. I pasted some pictures on the chat box.
Let me see.
I've been finding it difficult to download the ODB.
ODBC connector?
Yes. It's not installing.
What's the issue, please?
The pop-up I'm getting is not exactly like the one we have in the video. I tried watching some YouTube video just to download it. It's not, I'm still finding it difficult. So that's the reason why I've been able to submit my challenge today. Right now, I've not been able to connect my base to Power BI.
Okay, but I'm coming. I'm just going through your Excel, my SQL, my MS Access database. No. What's the error? What error is it popping up when you, as in, when you are downloading, as in when you are trying to installing it, as in when you're installing it, I mean? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I said
there's no
what error was it, as in which error specifically?
no error for my SQL. Sorry,
I mean,
no
I mean the connector.
Yes. These are the pop-up I'm getting from why installing them rather.
Actually, what's ODBC, as in your system itself has its ODBCs, as in is the ODBC source of a thing like that. Then this MySQL ODBC connector, when you download it and install it, it won't appear as a software on your, as in on your desktop or anything like that. But whenever you go to your system ODBC source, something like that, you're able to add that downloaded MySQL ODBC connector in here. Like this first part of this as in this user DSN as in tab. You click on add, as you click on add, scroll down, you will see that you installed MySQL ODBC, I think Unicode. You will see it there. Then you click on that, then you connect. Please can you as in do that tonight so that you can message as in send me a chat if you as in you get that.
Okay, I will do that now.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You're highly welcome. So do you have any other question or any other observations, please? Much for your time. Tomorrow, which is the last day of the challenge, we'll round up our dashboard and also as in publish it and give us a framework in which it's very essential, because after you putting on all this kind of work in cleaning your data, ingesting it in MySQL, doing the dashboarding and everything, that's a part, the technical parts. How will you present it to somebody that is non-technical as in oriented, like your stakeholders, your boss, and that's not your technical boss, I mean, maybe your boss at work and the likes. How will you present it in your portfolio? How will you present it to them so that it will be understandable by them? You'll be on the same page. You won't be, as in, you won't say, okay, I mean A, and they'll be understanding it as B. So we'll be doing that tomorrow, which is the last day of the challenge. So till tomorrow, thank you guys. See you tomorrow.
Very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.